Have you heard even one of these seven phrases at work lately? If you have, there's a real chance that you are being set up. Phrases like these sound supportive on the surface, and that is exactly why they work so well. In one recent survey of workers, 91% said that they had personally experienced gaslighting on the job. And of those, nearly 94% said that it impacted their mental health. Most people can feel that something is off in these moments. They just cannot always name it. And that is exactly what these seven phrases are built to exploit. Now, none of these seven phrases are illegal. None of them are technically rude, and that is exactly why they work so well. Here is what each one really means and exactly what to say the moment you hear it. Point one, listen for when someone says, just to play the devil's advocate here for a second, you pitch an idea. The room is leaning in, and right before anyone else can respond, someone leans back. They cross their arms and they say, just to play the devil's advocate for a second, and they pick your idea apart piece by piece. Here's what is actually happening. They are not exploring your idea. They are disagreeing with you. And that phrase lets them do it without ever having to own the disagreement. And if your idea is successful, they never said it was bad. They were just stress testing it. And if leadership raises doubts down the road, all they'll remember is you defending your idea, not them being the contrarian. Do not get pulled into defending every angle of your idea. That is the trap. Ask one specific question instead. What specifically concerns you about this? That forces them to commit to an actual position, which is the one thing the phrase was designed to avoid. And most of the time, the pushback quietly stops right there. Point two, listen for when somebody says, just to clarify what you're saying. You say something in a meeting or a conversation, nothing complicated, just your actual point. And then out of nowhere, they say, just to clarify what you're saying. And there's a specific tone in their voice. The reply restates what you said, except it's not what you said. It's flattened, stripped of context, and made way more extreme. And you're asked to confirm it in writing. Say you mention the project might slip into the next quarter if a couple things don't work out the way that they were supposed to. And it comes back to you as, so you're saying the deadline will be missed. No, that's not what I said. Now that's sitting in an email thread, and 6 weeks later, when a couple things do slip, you're the one who predicted the failure instead of the one who flagged it. Do not agree to their version of what you said. Slow down, restate your own position in your own words exactly as you said it the first time in writing. You do not owe anyone a simplified, inaccurate version of your own opinion. Over 20 years of coaching people in high-placed workplace situations, I have watched almost every one of these phrases play out in real meetings, sometimes from the person that is saying them, and sometimes from the person that's left standing there afterwards wondering what just happened. If you're already nodding along, stick around because the next five get even more specific. And if you appreciate me making this type of breakdown, let me know by gently tapping the like button. Point three, watch for the hallway warning. Somebody stops you by the coffee machine, or they stop you in the hallway and they say, I just want to give you a heads up. They often lower their voice. They might even put a sympathetic look on their face. Now, sometimes this person really has your best interest in their heart. So here's the test that I use. Did the conversation leave me feeling more confident, or did it leave me feeling smaller? Because the people that are actually helping you tend to build you up. They hand you real information and they let you decide what to do with it. And the people that are setting you up tend to leave you doubting yourself. You're wondering who is talking about you behind your back, and you walk into your next meeting feeling distracted, which is exactly when people make the kind of mistake that this person wants you to make. So when this person says this comment, smile to them, Say thank you. Do not hand over a confession, a doubt, or a complaint in the hallway because anything said there can and will travel fast and may be used against you. Then watch your standing in the workplace over the next couple weeks because that pattern tells you everything that you need to know. Point four, watch for this. Didn't we already cover this? Or didn't we already decide on this? You raise a concern or bring something up that was never actually resolved. And somebody tilts their head, they look mildly confused, and they say, didn't we already cover this? Now the whole room is looking at you like you missed something. Here's what could actually be happening. Either the conversation never happened, it happened, but nothing was actually decided, or it happened in a meeting that you were never invited to. Now, if you know that you have not had a memory problem and this genuinely does not ring a bell, it's probably one of those three and not that you forgot. What is really going on is somebody has created a version of history that never happened, and now the whole room is looking at you instead of them because nobody else remembers the details clearly either. So they nod along with whoever sounds the most confident, and that is rarely you. It is the person who made this statement in the first place. So here's the important part. If you genuinely think you might have missed it, it's fine to say so. But if you know that you did not, do not apologize. Do not say you must have missed it because that is the confession that they are fishing for. Stay level and ask them directly, can you point me to where this was decided? The notes or the email, because that forces them to produce something that does not exist. And now the room quietly notices who just got caught. Point five, listen for this one. Can we take this offline or can we circle back to this later? You raise a point in a room full of decision makers and it's landed. People are leaning in, and right when everybody seems engaged, you hear somebody say this line. It sounds reasonable, even respectful of everyone's time. So you assume the conversation will continue later. Most of the time, it does not. Your point just got moved out of a room where it had an audience into a one-on-one that conveniently never gets scheduled, gets pushed, or quietly disappears. Two moves here. The first one is try and lock in an actual time right there in front of everyone. Something like this. Sure, happy to. When's good? Can we grab 5 minutes right after this? That's a small ask. It's not a demand, and it's a lot harder to quietly ignore than a vague promise to circle back. Second, put your position in writing yourself right now in the recap, not somebody else's version of it. Lay out the point you raised and note that it was deferred, so even if that offline conversation never happens, your position is still on the record. Point six, listen for this one. Not to throw anybody under the bus, but in my experience, when somebody says that, that is exactly what's about to happen. Something went wrong. A deadline, a decision, a project that's off track. And in the meeting where everyone is trying to figure out what happened, then somebody says that line and they name you as the reason. That phrase is doing a specific job. It's assigning blame at you while they're trying to sound like they're reluctant to do it. And if you've pushed back, you look like you're overreacting to someone who clearly did not want to say it. Watch where the attention goes in the room right after they say it. That is usually the tell. Stay flat. Do not get defensive in front of everyone else and ask one calm, specific question. What exactly are you saying happened? That forces them to commit to something concrete instead of a vague impression. Point seven, watch for when somebody copies a supervisor in on an email. So you're going back with a coworker. Maybe you disagree about something, and a few emails in, they copy somebody new on it. It could be your boss, their boss. That single move tells you everything. It means they want proof or they want someone else to know what's going on. The second you see that, it's time to take the story all the way back to ground zero. Tell them your whole story from your side while you still have a chance. That way, you're the one setting the rules of the game, not them. And if you want to, loop in your own manager or coworker who knows the situation. This shows them that it's not just them who gets to play the game, you can play it too. The action step for today is this. Pick one of these 7 phrases, the one that hits the closest home, and write it down word for word and what you would say back the next time you hear it, before you actually need it. Remember this, Rehearse calm beats improvised panic every single time. If this helped, hit the like button and subscribe so I can keep making these videos for you. So if any of these phrases sound a little too familiar and you're starting to wonder if this is bigger than one meeting, watch the video I made on the 7 warning signs that you are about to get fired, because most people miss every single one of them until it's too late.